Do it now. Now.
Who is your father?
Yes.
I wish the fart buttons lasted as long as the applause button. It's like a crowd full of farting.
Where's the fart piano?
I don't know. It's buried under all this crap in front of me.
There we go.
Bury me.
All right, who's taking it? We
I got
four
it.
people here. Somebody take it.
I got it. Welcome, everyone, to the heaviest night of the month here on the Johnny Beane TV channels of channels. We have on the top left corner, we have Mr. Johnny Beane. Welcome.
Himself.
Glad to be
Well,
here.
oh,
Thank
hell
you so
yeah.
much. Thank you.
And then on the top right, all the way from Friday nights and Twitch Wednesdays, Kirk 5150. Welcome.
I'm from the Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. And the man, the myth, on the bottom left, on his 45th birthday, Jason Hannon. Happy birthday.
Wow, 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old balls.
Happy birthday,
Wow.
bro.
I got to get rid of those bags back there.
And lastly, it's me, your host of Metal Wednesday, Erection Jam. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in on Wednesday, because I know you have nothing going on. So welcome, and come hang out with us for the next couple hours. So thank you.
Couple hours. Is that what we signed up for?
Yeah, we're going to like 2 a.m.
Yeah, maybe in Scotland. Show's over, everybody.
in.
Good night.
Coming in hard and heavy. Boner jams.
Holla.
With no lube.
That's how I
Yeah.
roll. Well, welcome,
Dip
everyone.
in-
Thank you
dip in sand.
for tuning in. Have a fun show in store for you guys. And but first, Jay, how was your birthday, man?
What do you mean, how was my birthday?
I said, how's
Still
your
is
birthday?
my birthday.
I said, is as is going on
Oh,
right
did you?
now.
Oh, it was good. Kind of uneventful. Jeannie worked.
Worked
And,
you over.
Huh?
Worked you over.
Yeah, I wish. So just hung out with I can't.
Was it a good birthday? Did you have a good birthday?
Yes, I did. I had a
Alright,
good birthday, and I may
You
have
feel
taken.
older?
I may have taken something a couple hours ago. So,
That's your birthday.
so
Who gives a shit?
if my stories either go nowhere or if they go everywhere, you know why.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting us know.
So feel free to throw the spike strips across the freeway from time to time if I keep going.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just don't slide head first into it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's my stomach. It's my stomach.
Oh, I think he's saying happy birthday. I think.
Yeah. Doggy
Man,
style.
that deserves some thumbs ups, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Birthday thumbs.
I'm gonna give myself one right up the
Ooh,
irons.
it's going to be that type of show.
Yeah.
We'll have Kurt matrixing every so often when his internet feels like it. So
I figured my internet is for those non-hot girls that want to do a Twitch stream or a cam show, and you just can't tell how good looking they are because it's so blurry, so it works.
Yeah.
Johnny, can you find that meme I sent to you the other day of Kurt watching adult film content at 2 a.m.?
Huh?
The other day, I sent you a meme of a Kurt.
Did I see this?
Where did you send it? Was it just?
Send it to your grinder.
Carrier
account.
pigeon.
This is.
It'll be there in a few weeks.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
From Debo's pigeon coop.
Yeah.
Channel 47.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Cobra
Kurt
Kai.
watching
Please,
some porn.
Cobra Kai, please do something to that with Kurt.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Take him out and put Kurt's face in. That'd be great.
I'm not as tan as the Hitman is.
True. All right, John.
Remember
John, you want
those
to bring
days,
up?
man? Remember those days?
Oh yeah, dude.
I think I see a nipple. Real quick.
Here we go.
Turn the sharpness up.
Become a channel member. Click the join button. Oh, now we're on to the executive producers. The top tierdom of Johnny Beane TV producers. We have Dave Ennis, Final Freak 5150, Mike Neese, Music Therapy Laszlo, Majestic PB and J Kit, Wayno, Positive Flag, Sherman Callahan, Andy Carson, ADHD, Sharp, Michael B, Arhabs, Warlog, The Chad, Lawrence Christensen, Lenny Lou and Mary, James Gum, Johnny Moronic, Paul Martin Woods. It's like a human law firm over there. Paul Martin Woods.
Paul Martin Woods.
Stephen Franklin, Michael Smith.
Well, you got to read just the captain. Everybody, it's the captain.
Jesus.
Well, you got to read the whole thing, and then I interrupt the captain.
Oh, he's not last. Is he last? No.
Well,
So we have Thomas Santiago, Joe Christian, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, David Allen Greer, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael. Carmichael.
Hated it.
3 snaps in a circle.
Wow.
Become a channel member. Click the join button. You guys all know what to do.
Yep.
Yes. And since I'm here, normally I'm not here on Wednesdays, but since I'm here, if you want to help support the channel, support these shows, any super chats will change the color of these lights in the Guitar Moir. And let's see. We're live on Facebook, Johnny Beane TV Facebook page, where we have Facebook Stars, which is a digital gift that helps in the production of these shows. We're live in the exclusively Van Halen group, which is just craziness. There's so much going on over there. It's amazing. It's amazing how much content is over there. EVH Gear Live Facebook group and Facebook page, Johnny Beane TV Facebook page as well. And there's actually a new feature on the channel here. Brand new feature. You can support the channel with super thanks.
Thanks, man.
Which is basically it's like a super chat, like any time on any video. Like it doesn't not even live. You can actually help support the channel. And I think your comments get pinned to the top of the comment section. So so technically you can go back and you can comment on some of my videos that have like hundreds of thousands of views, and your comment will get pinned right there on the top.
So if I went back and put $5 in every show that Rob Johnson had a girlfriend on, you'd make a couple $100.
There's been a few.
Well, we have a special feature tonight, Johnny. And I'm not sure if you were privy to this.
All of them are here at once. We have all of them in one place.
Instead of the Guitar Moir lighting up and changing colors, Kurt had a button down on before. He was just going to go button for button.
Each super chat,
just straight nip.
I changed.
See? Ventriloquist Kurt tonight.
I'm going to rip this like Hulk Hogan.
Coke Hogan?
Hulk Hogan. Coke Blogan.
That's awesome.
It's like, never mind. Oh, man. Thanks for the birthday wishes, everybody. I see him in the chat. I see him. Thank you very much.
Seated.
Yeah. So, Johnny, why don't you go take a lozenge, a throat lozenge.
Sabbatical?
Oh,
Go take care of
Sorry,
yourself.
Ned.
We'll be here.
sorry, I got these.
Ricola!
Ricola.
Yeah. Big pipe. Whatever the hell that thing is called.
A bong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be here. Hop in whenever you'd like. Go rest up. We have lot to chat about
Maybe
tonight.
it's kicking him off his own channel.
No, I know he's struggling right now. He was like creeping right before the show got on. He was just creeping into the chair. So
Just slide in.
He's asleep
Huh?
right now.
Yeah.
Wait, I just got a sponsorship.
who is it?
Sweet. Ricola.
Some sort of wireless guitar system.
Johnny's get. Hey, I'll take it. I got sponsored by something. I don't even know what it is.
Wireless guitar system. I just got a message from somebody saying they're looking to get someone to try out their wireless.
Let's call him. Why don't you give him a shout on there?
No, send him the link.
Awesome. I don't know who it is. I just saw it. I'll look into it.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Right on.
That's cool. I'd like to apologize to everyone in advance for my herpes on my mouth. Right there.
Well, now that we see it,
It's painful. We got Wayno here. I'm at a bar. Almost forgot about metal. How can you almost forget? Full house tonight. Never
This is at a
knew.
bar.
5150. Listen to guitar with a ton of chorus on it.
why wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Why wouldn't you?
What's up, Wayno?
Wayno, when you said Full House, I was thinking about Kimmy Gobbler. I wasn't
Kimmy
thinking about
Gobbler.
Ford.
The full blouse.
It's called Full Mouth. Yeah. All right, enough of that.
No.
We'll bring that on the Saturday with John Bull.
Yeah, we
So,
got some things to talk
all right,
about
guys,
tonight.
you ready to get into this?
Yeah,
Let's
I
do it.
mean, yes.
All right. So, everyone, we have a special treat with Kirk 5150 in attendance. So, we're going to go over a few things. But let's briefly hop into what's new and exciting in the world of hard rock and metal. Jay's favorite band, Linkin Park. They said they have no plans on writing a new album.
Did anybody ask?
I think someone asked Mike Shinoda.
Okay. Because
Oh, wow.
I love when you see these bands like that you haven't heard their name in decades sometimes, and they haven't even been on the radar. You barely hear anything of them, and then all of a sudden they come out with a press release on like Blabbermouth or something. We have we're not going to be making a new album. We're not going to be blah blah blah. It's like, anybody ask? Everybody's looking. It's different when like Tool or something obviously isn't making an album for years and years, and in that sense, or Brian's favorite Slipknot, like when those guys, they take a while too. But for a band that's literally been retired or whatever, or just off the radar, I love those press releases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to be releasing an album, but go check out our old stuff and buy it.
Yeah, like
Right.
Gizmachi put out a press release and was like, "We have no plans on making a new album." There'd be 5 people be like, "Damn it! I was hoping they were going to do another one. Son of a."
Speaking of like Blabbermouth, and I send this stuff all the time to you, Jay, right?
Mhm.
They have the worst articles ever. They'll talk about
They're hard to even. Yeah.
like one of the Corey Taylor went to McDonald's today and was not happy with a Shamrock Shake. Like, who cares?
Yes, but at the same time, most of the articles on Blabbermouth and a lot of these sites now, the band or the artist is the one getting it on there.
What?
Yes, the publicists and stuff like that, like their PR team. They're the one, obviously if somebody sees whatever, certain bands they're going to cover no matter what. But a lot of the bands that aren't those 1A tier bands,
Mhm.
they're the ones paying Blabbermouth
Yeah.
to put up
Feeding them
their
the stories.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, they're putting out content literally like like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like well, Blabbermouth, they're like the TMZ of metal, right?
That's like the main one people I think would go to if they want to find out about like hard rock or metal news. For the most part, people are going to go to Blabbermouth first.
But it muddies the waters when you go here to get the latest and greatest, and you got to comb through a bunch of garbage.
Oh, dude, all this media has turned to quantity over quality, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new article with Gene Simmons and David Draymond react to Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. Who cares? You know who I don't care about? David Draymond. You know?
Okay.
It's true. I can care less what he thinks. And also, every time they show a picture of David Draymond, if we can, he looks terrible nowadays.
Yeah.
Who? I don't know who that is.
Of course you don't. He is
the singer from Disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Remember that song? The Wah guy, isn't that him?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it's funny. I would defend David Draymond, but I can't because we were on the same. No, actually, it was an off day, but they were at the same festival that we were at because Trivium was playing the festival and we had a day off, but we were sharing the bus with them and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And David Draymond was like backstage and stuff, hanging out, and he wasn't very friendly to like the lower bands, you know, not at all.
He produced an album for Trivium, so he was probably trying to recruit him back then.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cameron Brown. There's my buddy all the way from Scotland.
What's up, Cameron?
Hey, Cameron.
What's going on, Cameron?
Cameron.
Like another story. Jordan Rudess says it was probably cool for Mike Portnoy to see current Dream Theater lineup perform. Really? It was probably cool? So he didn't even ask him. He just thought. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's one context, you know, one sentence or whatever, but I was thinking of that too, because I remember years ago, somebody asked me like, what band would you, and this is when we were still like an active band, and somebody asked, what band would you love to see live? And I'm like, I'd like to see my band play live, like to step out of my body, you know what I mean? And like see your band play live, like in the flesh. But I don't think it's the same thing for Portnoy. He's not in the band anymore. He's seeing some other drummer play his parts. He's watching a band that he was one of the main parts of forever, up until 12 years ago now, I guess it would have been.
Mm-hmm.
So cool in the sense that he's on good terms with them again, but kind of, you know, probably there's a lot of them that's like, oh my God, what did I do? You know? So.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, Brian, how often do you check Blabbermouth?
All the time, every day.
Do you?
Yeah, throughout the day, I'll check it because I'm anxiously awaiting new information on the new Slipknot album. So, I've talked to a person in the know.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Who says it's drenching panties, and I cannot wait. So, Lainey, you can come in, honey.
Hopefully,
Lainey wants to say hi to Jason. Want to say hi, happy birthday to Jay?
Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, Lainey. I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Kurt and Johnny, say hi to them too.
Hi. How are you?
What's up?
44,000 people watching right now. You want to say hi to everyone?
What's up?
Hi, honey. Get some food. Love you.
See you in the morning.
All right. Good night.
You're supposed to tell her to throw out her socials so she can get all these followers.
True.
Yes, Lainey Amps, KXM Rock. Lainey Amps. That's funny.
Isn't that where Jason McNamara works? Jason McNamara, doesn't he work for Lainey Amps?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where's he been?
Very cool.
Didn't he come on and drop that bombshell live on Johnny Bean TV?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
I remember that.
Well, there'll be a link to the clip in the chat.
True. So anyway, yeah. So Kurt Blabbermouth, I check it all the time because I'm just pumped to hear new Slipknot when they're gonna drop an album single. And actually, in a couple weeks, I'm going to see him. Brody and I are going to go see them Saturday the 21st.
Awesome. Where are they playing?
Awesome.
Where are they playing?
Yeah.
It's in like Dunkin' Donuts
Parking lot.
parking lot in Rhode Island. So we're driving about 2 hours to go see him.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's on the cusp.
Yeah.
It's on the cusp
Yep.
of too long.
And then the 2 days before that, Thursday the 19th, we're going to go see Deftones and Gojira. So I'm real,
cool.
That's
real
gonna be
pumped for that.
cool.
Yeah. So
Nice.
it's going to be a
And who's
busy
opening up?
May.
Who's opening up for Slipknot?
Cypress Hill.
Oh,
God. Jesus Christ. This
It's
still
from the
around, huh?
bone.
yeah.
Yeah, so it should be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited.
I gotta
So,
hold on. I got a voice message to listen to. Hold on a second. I gotta mute it just in case.
Please do. So
Hi, Jason. This is your mother. Just wanted to say happy birthday.
I'm looking for some screen caps that I sent to the band. When every time on Blabbermouth they send some ignorant crap.
You mean we say ignorant crap after we send the link?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do.
Oh.
You-
I love when Brian sends me like Van Halen news a day after. Like, I hate to be that guy. I saw it. I know I saw it. I know I read it. I know I saw it yesterday. But
I'm trying to be nice here.
I know. That's how good of a friend Brian is, right? When somebody goes out of their way to send you something that they know you're interested in, but they're, Brian probably isn't going to go goo goo gaga over certain bands that I love and vice versa.
Correct.
I have no comment on that subject. He called me yesterday and threatened me within an inch of my life if I brought up anything related to that band.
Listen, Kurt, you can come on Metal Wednesday. All
That'll
right.
be your last show if.
I'm telling you right now, between Johnny and Jay, there's going to be a few references. But if you come in there and you add the trifecta, it'll turn into Van Halen.
I'll have your ass.
I just did Van Halen Wednesday over on Twitch.
Mhm.
So
There you go.
I'm good.
There you go.
How was it?
It was good.
What'd you guys talk about? What? No, I'm joking.
It was just me.
What'd you talk about?
I really quickly I talked about today's the 30-something anniversary since the release since 5150 went #1.
That's right.
Talked about that, and then the newly released Why Can't This Be Love footage from Tokyo '89, which is really cool. And then talked about Wolfgang Van Halen doing his first Instagram Live today over on what's the company?
Instagram.
Spotify's Notable.
OnlyFans.
Did you watch it, Brian?
Oh yeah, love me some Wolfgang.
Well, no, the what's his name was on with him?
Misha?
Yeah, the guy I'm not a huge fan of.
You should take.
Misha? What band is he in?
Guy Fieri.
Periphery.
He seemed like a cool dude. I mean, he seemed like he really knew, like he was really into gear and stuff. Cause
He is. He is.
They were
But
talking about guitars.
He badmouthed Gizmachi years ago on a public band
Really?
forum. Yes.
Yeah, that dude's person non grata on Metal Wednesday.
We should bring him on and just crucify him.
Oh, he could probably care less, man. Who the hell am I? It's not like our band shot to the top of the friggin' charts or something.
There's still time.
Oh yeah, PB and J Cat told me that you guys had beef.
Oh yeah. Well, he probably has no idea. But
Wow. I don't know who the dude is. I just thought he seemed like he was a cool dude, but
Jay has beef Wellington.
beef injection.
Was Wolfie answering questions like Q&A type of thing?
No, he wasn't. But then it looked like he went live on his own account, like right afterwards. And he did answer some questions. Like somebody asked him whatever happened to the Frankenstein. And he's like, what do you mean? It's still a guitar.
Instead of just saying, yeah, it's 5 feet away from me, you know?
Yeah, it's not leaving the site.
Yeah.
All right, so what kind of metal stuff are we going to be chatting about?
Non-Wolfgang related. So we'll talk about there's a few things in the news we briefly talked about with Linkin Park, but Kurt's favorite band, Godsmack, apparently Sully Erna said that this may be their last Godsmack album, and I say good. I'm not a big Godsmack fan. Yeah, I said, what's up, Sully?
I've seen him twice.
Island in 2 weeks. What's up? No, I'm just not a big fan. But I remember Jay and I actually earlier today were talking about when Godsmack first came out. I was in high school going to Europe, and a friend of mine made me a mixtape. Remember, people used to make mixtapes to each other as like a show of love and like solidarity.
Yep.
It's like, yo, I didn't think that guy was cool with me until he gave me a mixtape, so I know we're boys now, right?
Then there was a weird message at the end of it that creeped me out.
Yeah. Then I
love you.
I remember being on a bus in Germany and hearing that song "Whatever" for the first time, and I was like, "Wow, this sounds just like a Korn ripoff, like that beginning." And then, several years later, Sully Erna was like, "Oh yeah, we ripped Korn off on that song." So Godsmack, this may be their last album. And Jay, what's your thoughts on that? Godsmack, Sully Erna,
listened to Godsmack.
Tattoo.
We actually played a show with Godsmack. This was like 1999, maybe 2000.
Really?
It was 99. Yeah, obviously opened up the whole. We were a local band, so it's not like they had any idea,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was a fan at first. Like I bought their first album. And then I just, didn't really like them after that.
Yeah, I would agree. I thought their first album was great, little overplayed. I told you guys I saw them twice. They were both at festivals with a bunch of other bands. Live, I thought they were great. Just some of their later material I didn't really dig.
Yeah.
So
they were better when they were trying to be somebody else. How about that?
I'm also not a fan of the guitarist. They have one guitar, and every solo has a wah in it.
Yep.
Just like Kirk Hammett.
Kirk is in every solo. Speaking of Kirk, he has a new album that came out Friday.
Yeah. Did you listen to it?
No, not yet. I listened to one song, and I actually thought it was cool. I'm not expecting Metallica material.
Mm-hmm.
And the one song I heard, High Plains Drifter.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to go back to some Clint Eastwood stuff, but I thought it was cool. I'd like to listen to the rest of it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, but
Randy Price says his old band opened up for Godsmack in 2006. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man.
Sorry, Jay.
No, it's fine. I mean, just thinking of people that do solo records, right? Usually when it's in the prime of that band's career or near the prime of their career, the fans kind of want the same thing as the band. Like, oh, if it's too much far away from that material that we love, we don't want to hear it. But a band like Metallica, who's obviously way past their prime, in my opinion, it's cool. I don't want it, like I said before, I don't want to hear Metallica if Kirk Hammett puts out a solo record.
Right.
It's cool that it's a complete departure from all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what is that? Some sort of artwork?
What is
some sort of colors in a pattern? Portals.
Is it the surface of Mars in green instead of red? with portals that you can go back and forth between Earth and Mars.
I see what you did there.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Bob Rock. Well, no, I don't know if Bob Rock produced it, Randy. I could be wrong, but I thought Kirk just said Bob
think he
Rock
did.
mixed it. I think he just mixed it. But I again, the small interview that I read with Kirk when he mentions Bob Rock, I could have swore that he said it was done. And he's like, man, who's going to mix it? And I could have swore he just said that Bob Rock mixed it. So I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
So is it something that you think casual Metallica fans would get into?
No, not casual Metallica fans. Like if I didn't love Metallica, I wouldn't even care to listen to this. You know.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the new Steve Vai album, Jay?
Well, after he put out that video with the Hydra, I mean, my my boner alarm is like, I mean, even if you're not a Vai fan, I mean, at his stage in his life and his career, for him to be able to literally learn an instrument with 4 stringed instruments on it and like play them, not just like play one, okay, play the next, okay, play the next part, okay, then things over here. He's playing it like making a song and playing multiple, like, you know, he'll do a slide on the bass guitar with his left hand while he's playing notes on, you know, on the 7-string guitar in the middle. I mean, it's literally nuts. And if you haven't seen that, we talked about this, Johnny, I believe, or Kurt, maybe on a Saturday night or something, or Friday night. But I mean, he said he blocked off, or I thought it was 3 months, but I think it was something like maybe 6 weeks or something, where literally he didn't do anything but learn how to play this thing as one instrument, not 4 separate. Yep. And writing a song on it too. That's the thing as well. Like, okay, piecing everything together, but now, okay, well, I'm doing this on this thing. Okay, what can I do on this now and make it musical? Right. I mean, it's just mind blowing. Again, how old is he? In his 60s, right?
60, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for him to literally do something like that and dedicate. But again, anybody starting out playing guitar, especially you youngsters out there, if you want to be really, really good, you literally have to like be obsessed with playing a guitar or drums or anything, art, anything you want to do like this.
Yeah.
You have to literally almost not do anything else in all your free time.
It's dedication.
You want to be like that level. Yeah.
I think it's crazy. I want to see the case for it.
Oh, probably.
He said the case was like the size of like a small car or something.
Yeah, a small car.
I watched some interviews.
Door.
It's like a smart car.
But again, not just like, okay, piece these instruments together. Number one, make it playable. And number two, like, let's look at the top thing, right? The 12-string. Half of it's fretted. The upper half is obviously fretless, right?
Right.
On the bass guitar, I think it's the high 2 strings, you know, I think he has it tuned to A. So the top 2 strings are fretless, and I mean, it's insane.
Right. And what do all the switches do? How do you control each pickup? I see there's some sort of Sustainiac type pickup in the neck in that one.
Yep.
I mean, just madness.
Yep.
Sorry, my son is about to bring me a Corona.
Ooh.
And I'm looking at him, and he's about to hand me a bottle with the cap on. I'm like, dude, gotta take it off.
Well, at least he doesn't know all that yet.
That's true.
Like, how do you know this ain't a twist off?
Yeah.
Use your teeth.
What does Joe Satriani say? If you don't mind me asking, if you can click on that, Johnny.
He says Steve Vai critiques all his albums before release.
Doesn't anybody?
Insane aspect about the. So was that wasn't all like one That song wasn't like a one take, was it?
I doubt it was one take, but it's him playing it. You know, he might have recorded it all separately.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think he did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. But I don't think he's going to play it on the first leg of the tour because he hurt his shoulders bothering him after his surgery. But he learned how to play all that at one time, and eventually he's going to go on the road and play that song on that goddamn guitar.
Because in that music video, he's playing it. I mean, he's literally, playing. So yeah, it seems like he knows the song.
Yeah,
and he's gonna play it live or play a version of it live.
Yeah.
Jay, do we know who configured this thing? Was this part his idea, or did someone throw it together and say, "Hey, check this out," and like he modified it? Do you know?
He said he had the idea years ago, I guess, or he said they've been working on it for at least a few years now. But yeah, he came up with the idea, and then obviously Ibanez, he kind of sold him. He was into the steampunk thing when he first came up with the idea for this, and then Ibanez, obviously, they go back and forth, and he gets what would they be called on the computer? You get mock-ups or something, or
prototypes.
John B. L.
Yeah, like whatever people that do this type of stuff on computer would know what it's called. And
3D printed.
Says, that's cool, or why don't you move this? But I mean, it's not one of those things. I bet they can't send him. When you're designing like a signature guitar, if you're a big enough artist, a guitar company will send you hundreds of them before you're happy with it. But I'm sure with the Hydra, it was probably like, we're not going to build.
Yeah, here's the schematic.
Are you nuts?
I don't think he totally designed it. I think they had designers working on it.
Yes.
And then they came up with a version of it that he approved, that he liked.
Yeah, and they kept, obviously, that's what I'm saying. He'd give them like a visual idea of what he's seeing in his head. And obviously, like anything, if an artist will listen to your interpret, okay, well, maybe, and they do a mock-up or whatever, and then they send to him, and obviously they go back and forth. They probably go back on, hundreds of times.
Right.
Yeah,
it
was several years.
Mm-hmm.
The heart guitar.
By the way, false flag. Feel better, man.
Yeah, feel better, dude.
Feel better, dude.
Hey,
Thank
false
you so
flag.
much.
And thanks for the birthday wishes. Yeah, he says the heart guitar was more for the visual.
Oh, okay.
The three necks or whatever. He said I was playing with Roth, so the crazier the better.
It's actually not a 12 string; it's a 14 string, Jay.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's a 12 string, you bonerhead.
No, the top headstock is 3. Oh,
I think it's a 12, but like
it is 12. Holy shit,
like
I can't count.
Half.
I see 13.
Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey now.
But again, like he explains, like when you watch the video, you can see me doing certain things. Any guitar player will know when they're learning how to play like a solo or some kind of lick. For certain parts of that lick, your hand and pick and whatever and wrist and whatever have to be in a certain position to be able to pull it off cleanly. Because like when you're playing this, you don't have that luxury of everything being exactly where you need it, especially when you have to move all of a sudden to another, up or down for whatever. Mm-hmm. He's like that was very, very tricky as well. Learning how to do certain things, learning how to play a part where you wouldn't usually play it or how you wouldn't usually play it.
It's crazy.
Plus, he's Steve Vai. I mean, so he can do anything. I mean, he's one of those dudes where
Jay.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
No.
This better be
when you saw it, you're like, of course it's Steve Vai. Hey man, what's up, Brody?
What's up?
You're gonna be able to whoop your dad's ass pretty soon, man. Hand him up out of the chair. Hand him up.
Put him in a chokehold.
Pull Nelson.
Yep.
Oh,
Want to say happy birthday?
happy birthday!
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You look handsome tonight. Damn.
It's the bubblegum colored shirt.
Yeah.
Hi, bud. Love you. Thank you. Thanks
Flaccid Jams in the house.
Flaccid Jams. Holla.
Man, man, if I was 14 and wore a pink shirt, my ass would have been whooped. Imagine walking to school with that pink shirt when you were 14. Come on,
Right.
man.
NFA. Simsbury is a little different than NFA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The
Yep.
times they are changing, Jay.
Mhm.
But see,
Yeah,
that's
of course it's Steve I. If anybody could play something like this,
yeah.
you're like, well,
Yeah.
how many are they
Cool.
going to make of those? Aren't they going to make a small batch?
I don't know.
Really?
I mean, you would think
Yeah.
for him personally, there'd have to be at least a backup to that or a couple.
Yeah, but
If he's
I
gonna
thought I
tour this.
read after the album came out that Ibanez was going to make a small run.
What is on it?
You got the 12 string, the 7 string, a 4 string bass, and then you have a how many string, kind of like a harp, like I don't know how many strings is in the back.
But
Yeah.
it looks like there's like a Super Soaker 50 on top.
Yeah.
It's like right?
Johnny
It's-
could do 4 string change shows on this one guitar.
Yeah,
Those are tubes right there. And I know there's somewhere there's like some close up. Oh, here we go. The more we click, the more. Dang.
Lights up.
Yep.
Flex
Yeah.
capacitor.
the flex capacity.
look at the funny thing is look at the guitar in the front and then the 2 guitars behind it. It's like the future and the past.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Damn.
Symmetry says, "Did you see the horse cock cable that hooks it up?" Yeah, Jay's gonna buy it and send it back. I don't know if I could afford the shipping to send that thing back.
I think it's
Yep.
crazy.
It'll be interesting. I think we read that Ibanez is going to be at NAMM this summer. It'll be interesting to see if they have one of these on display at a NAMM show coming
Oh,
up.
they gotta, right? They
Yeah.
gotta have one.
Mm-hmm.
Laz is in the chat. He'll buy one.
Hey man,
Only if
What's
it's
up, Laszlo?
listed. Only if it's listed wrong. Oh, this is the one that's made in Indonesia. It's only $500.
Then he'll tell everyone about it.
And then he'll mess it up by trying to change something on it. Oh, what's this thing do in the back? I'll just pop that out.
Yeah, these harp strings don't fit on this neck. Let's stretch it.
I'm gonna put 13s on the harp part of it. Piano cables, piano strings on it.
I wonder what's tuned to, like each guitar. Do you know?
Well, I know the 7-string is drop A.
It's drop A, really?
Yeah,
Why would you have a 7-string that's in drop tuning?
because you have to think about he doesn't have his left hand available the whole time,
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
easier to hit an open. I don't know if it's drop A, but I know it's in A, and he's got to be able to play some kind of chord-ish thing open while he's doing something with his left hand on the bass or
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of excuses to me.
No, that's thinking. That's like, okay, getting an instrument like this is cool, but how am I going to make it work and be able to play it?
Yeah. No, I'm just joking. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a carnival sideshow. Let's see the man play the 3-necked guitar.
Step right up. Step right up.
Hey, Mom, can we stop looking at the bearded woman and go check out that guy with the 3?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
there's the back of it.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God. And the he says the strap as well. It's like a waist harness type strap. So you have to kind of. He said it's not easy to play. It's very heavy, and all the stress is obviously on your legs.
Didn't Boner Jams get Johnny a strap that goes across his waist?
No. He has the shoulder, like the race car harness.
I still have no idea how to use that. We still got to figure that out. And thank you again, by the way, man.
The
You're
Paul
welcome.
Bunyan strap?
Paul Bunyan strap.
It's like ergonomically perfect. So the weight's distributed properly in your trapezius. So Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's great.
All right.
Yeah, that was cool seeing the back of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's how cool Vi is too. Like he'll he's not shy with the details of what he's doing and how these things are hooked up and strung and what stuff he's using. There, the shipyard. What?
I'm not drinking
Pumpkin
pumpkin. It's just a
Oh, I was gonna say it's early, huh? Or is it leftover?
No, I wouldn't drink Halloween or pumpkin beer now. You crazy.
He's drinking south of the Bota.
Yeah. Low carbs, trying to watch my girlish figure. So all right. Jay, another in music news, another band has been talking a lot about coming out with an album. It's been taking forever. It's Avenged Sevenfold.
Ooh.
What's your do you like Avenged Sevenfold? I mean, you respect them. You've played with them. What's your thoughts on?
Oh yeah, I respect them. I haven't really been that. They're one of those bands, and I know this might sound cliche, but once they got on MTV, I think they got like, I don't know, like I don't know, like
Lost
that
their
edge they had, that tie to like metal, kind of went away. You know what I mean? They are good live, and it's funny because, Jeannie and I, this was obviously years ago, but right after their first album, Awaken the Fallen, came out, I forget how we heard it, but somebody, I don't know, burned a CD or whatever it was, one of our friends. And we heard it and we're like, wow, this is like really good, And they played the Chance in Poughkeepsie, and there was literally like, it almost felt like there was like 25 people there.
I was there.
Yeah, right? There was like nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and they were, Johnny,
Awesome.
I almost said it, but they were effing great live. Like everything was on point.
What year?
Whenever Awaken the Fallen came out, it was soon after that album came out.
So Awaken the Fallen, I think, is 20 years old
smoke.
now. So it was like 02. But their
Yeah,
first
02
album
sound.
was Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, but it didn't have Sinister Gates on it until the last song. And then Waking the Fallen was the first album with Sinister Gates. And Jay knows I have a bromance with Sinister Gates. I love him. I think he's an amazing guitarist. And yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny with him, a lot of these guitar players are doing like they'll start up a website and like charge for lessons or a guitar course. But Cameron Brown told me a while back that he actually I guess on his YouTube channel, I've yet to check it. I probably should, because he is a really, really good guitar player. But he like does a course and lessons just like free on his YouTube channel. Like he doesn't have a paid course that he charges for. He literally just does a bunch of that stuff for free on his YouTube channel. So you got to, give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Who's the tennis player that's or soccer player that's next to the singer there?
It's the drummer. What's his name? He was in the Vandals. It's not Josh Freese. It's someone in the chat help me.
Now is everybody
Brooks
from
Wackerman.
Awaken the Fallen except for the drummer?
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Is every other member still the same except for the drummer? Obviously.
Yes. Yep.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So that's Brooks Wackerman. He was also in Bad Religion.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's a great drummer. And who was it? Hellstorm. Thank you for Brooks. Mm-hmm. So I'm pumped for a new Avenged Sevenfold album. My only issue with them is, I don't know, to me they seem too nonchalant about doing things. Their last album came out, and I think it was 2016 or 2017 was The Stage, which had zero promotion for it. They're just like, oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow we're releasing a brand new album. And it was dope. It was really good. Actually, Jay, when I went to visit you one time, we listened to some of it.
Well, did I poo-poo it or did I like it?
No, you liked it. You thought it was pretty good.
Oh, that's weird. That's strange.
And which says a lot, because Jay generally doesn't like anything. So you didn't crap on it. but it's a long time, and they toured with Metallica. They opened up for them, and then they were going to have their own tour. I think it was 2019, and then M Shadows blew out his vocal cord again.
Oh, really?
And they haven't done anything since. And they haven't toured in 3 years. They haven't done anything.
I wonder
Nothing.
if he's having serious vocal problems.
Maybe they haven't talked about it at all. They're just talking about, well, we want to make sure it's right, and we're spending time with family and all this different stuff. And it's just like sounds like I wouldn't say I don't want to be mean because obviously I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of excuses, and it's during the pandemic. A lot of people were putting albums together. A lot of bands were working. A lot of people were being creative and doing different things because they had the
doing
time to
stuff
do
from home.
it. And to not come out with something or not have this done, I don't know. Paint me disappointed. So
Dude, when you're oh yeah, that's right. He was the drummer for Bad for Good. Our buddy Thomas McLaughlin, his band when he was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think when you look at album releases for bands from the 70s and the 80s, and sometimes there's a few bands that years like in the late 70s, early 80s, they put out like an album a year. And then it went to like 2 years. And usually that was the norm, right, Johnny? Every 2 years, a band would come out with an album. And then there might be every once in a while, like, Van Halen, when you went from OU812 to Carnal Knowledge, it was 3 years. When you got Metallica, you go from Justice to the Black Album, it was 3 years.
Mhm.
That was usually pushing it. Unless there was like a live album in between, then obviously you can get away with it. But now, like these big bands, obviously the labels aren't breathing down their necks like they used to. The labels used to have these bands by the balls.
mm-hmm.
And it was like, no, this is the next August, whatever, that's your release date. And if you don't hit it, guess what? You're like breach of contract. There's all this crap that bands had to deal with back then. Now it's like, you get as big as band like that or Tool or whatever. Like, yeah, we'll do an album when we're ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and plus these days, with social media, with Instagram and TikTok, these bands, they can put out content every day,
And stay
and
relevant.
it's like, and they're always around.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Trivium does a great job with that. Matt Hafey's got a huge Twitch following. And he's putting
That's the
stuff
guy
out
with that
every day.
strap, right?
Yeah.
That strap you gave me, that's his, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's putting stuff out every day. He's like tutorials on a song, or when they're on the road, what they're doing backstage. Like, it's pretty cool on the amount of content that they're providing. So agreed.
Well, there's the opposite sides of the coin, though, is like, obviously that's cool, but then there's the bands that are very cryptic, and that there's either way I think is cool, because sometimes, like years ago when there was no internet, you didn't know anything about these bands, and it made you want to know more and want to, like, oh my God, I have to know about this band.
Yeah.
And then when you pull the curtain back and you see everything, a lot of that does go away. I think is it bad for fans to feel like they know the band instead of like, the other way around?
Like, you mean not knowing them and having that like allure of them being rock stars?
It's the total opposite now, where everybody's human, and there's a face now to the brand or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I love TikTok. I'm like, I wake up every day, I'm scrolling through that, looking at stuff, and the bands that are the artists that put out content like every day like that. I mean, just imagine back when we were, teenagers, if Van Halen was doing that. Imagine what that would have been like. It would have been incredible.
Yeah, think about all the reality TV stuff with a lot of the movie stars and
Gosh.
rock
Oh my
stars.
God.
Oh, what happened?
I think
your gain just shot all the way up.
it started to pick up what was going on in the background, so it boosted your
Oh, is that better?
it was like the what's the commercial with the guy sitting in the couch with the speakers, the
Memorex.
Memorex guy. I was like, Jesus, it's windy in here all of a sudden.
Just make sure
Guys, I think No, but I think total opposite now. I think the more an artist puts out via TikTok, via the gram, via whatever it is, I think it's cool. The more the better. And now, and you're old school now. You're grandpa if you're not on these platforms and you're not doing stuff every day.
I know, but I'm just comparing the differences as well of like a generation or two generations in some cases, where You know, it's like somebody does an article like, "Oh my God, Eddie Van Halen loves pizza, dude. Interview. He said he loves pizza."
Yeah.
And it's like because you didn't know anything about what these people are like in their personal lives, what they liked, what they didn't like, how they anything. And then now you're seeing somebody with their family, you're seeing them eat whatever. You're seeing them like be a human being. And back then, like I forget who it was, I don't know if it was Kurt or Brian said like back then they were rock stars. You know, there was something that you just put up here like, oh my God. And now it's like, yeah, these people are obviously looked up upon from their fans, but you're seeing them be normal.
Yeah.
You know, do you think that takes away in some aspect of the whole allure of the rock star, you know?
Sure. No, it definitely makes sense. Jay, it's 10 o'clock. Why don't you do a roll call? It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your fans are?
Do you know? Whoa. Excuse me. I had to get that out. Hey, JJ's House of Jams is here. What's happening, man?
Hey, man. I'll see you in a month, dude.
What am I doing?
Roll call.
Roll call. Oh my God! Come on, everybody, comment.
52 people here,
which is actually pretty good for a Wednesday metal show, isn't it?
We were up to like 56 before.
56th.
5,600.
All right, so we got Boner Jams, JJ's House of Jams. We got Jay, Johnny Beane, Music Therapy Laz, Nightbot, Mega Todd, yeah. Music Therapy Laz, Andy Carson. So everybody, all right, Octopus Ears, Rock Daddy. Smitty's here, Symmetry Tim Thomas, Zach, Thongs are the best. Kurt 5150. That's nice of you to show up, Kurt. Hellstorm. Any Randy Price. Who else? Music Therapy. I think I already read that. Robert Ranford. I know Cameron Brown was here before, and obviously me. He's probably playing
Oregon Trail.
Again, Elder Ring, maybe.
Mike Balls was in here earlier.
He's typing in his browser's password as we speak right now.
Mike Balls, yeah.
Oh my God, Mike Balls. I hope he's watching because, man. Quick story, right? So we didn't realize that we never set up publishing accounts for the band or the individuals for any Gizmachi music. Like those songs are sitting in ASCAP's bank account right now. Not that it's a lot of money or anything. But we never set up publishing, and we only set up writing accounts a couple of years ago, right?
Oh, man.
So we have to go all through and if anybody set up ASCAP online, you know, some of it is tricky once you have to start registering your own music. There's a lot of questions and things you click on in there that are like, wait a minute, am I doing this right? You know? So like I went through and had to jump through hoops to get like the older songs that came out in 2005 kind of registered and set up properly, because there were like 3 songs were never registered by anybody. Like so those years of plays or streams or anything, nothing, right? Which kind of sucks because that's money out of our pockets. So anyway, we're having to do all this stuff on ASCAP, and everybody else in the band is figuring this stuff out, right? Yeah, everybody's got some questions, but Mike is like, it's almost like he's never looked at a computer. You took Fred Flintstone to the future and said, "Hey, set up your ASCAP account, Fred." Like, Bonnie, what am you know? That's what he literally has no idea what he's doing.
What's ass clap?
It's one of those newfangled sexual diseases on browsers.
Oh my God. I mean,
yo, man, that chick's got the ass clap. Go watch that video.
He knows I love him, but sometimes, man, it's just like, Mike, I explained this 2 days ago in the text thread. Just scroll back and look at it. You know?
The ass clap.
Ass clap.
It's what Cardi B does on her videos. Those TikToks.
TikTok.
That's another thing about like modern music compared to the older stuff. You know, remember Van Halen didn't want to at first. They, a lot of bands back then didn't want anybody to use their songs.
I don't remember that.
commercials or whatever, right? Commercially. But because it was like, the fans are going to look at that like, oh, they're selling out, Now it's like it's an obvious every chance they get. Modern bands are giving their songs to commercials, to companies to use.
Oh, and aside from that, if you have a song that gets that people start using on TikTok, like in their stories or whatever, like it's just incredible.
What? That's a fan using it as one of their stories. I'm talking about a company, a band selling their, allowing a company to use it for a commercial. Or an ad. What was the one for Circuit City? Remember?
I don't know, but even like Fleetwood Mac, they had one of their songs go viral thanks to TikTok, and it kind of brought them back. Like a whole new generation discovered them, and Mick Fleetwood ended up making a TikTok account because of this, because of what's his name, Dog. What's the guy's name? The drinking the ocean spray on the skateboard. What's his name?
Dog the Bounty Hunter?
No.
Snoop Dogg?
No. Anyway, he did a TikTok that went super viral of him with a Fleetwood Mac song in the background.
Fleetwood Mac is
it,
awesome.
It just totally pushed like that tune, and the band got a whole new generation of fans because of somebody's TikTok.
Are you sponsored by TikTok?
But what I'm saying is Ocean Spray
someday.
Ocean Spray didn't pay Fleetwood Mac to use their song in a commercial. But
Ocean Spray bought the guy a truck.
Oh yeah, I know. It was pretty
because
awesome.
he had no car. He had to ride a skateboard to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dog. What was his name? It was Dog something.
Dog.
Yeah.
No idea. Hey, Clayton James 6 is here. He says today's
Dog.
Wolfgang Wednesday. Usually 3 Wednesdays a month. Yes, it's Wolfgang Wednesday. But today is Metal Wednesday.
Not today, Clayton.
Metal
Not
Wednesday.
today.
Wow. Every day is Wolfgang Wednesday to me, Clayton. Thank you, man.
This is the heaviest Wednesday of the month.
Oh, it's the heaviest night of the month, not just Wednesday.
It's an all-day affair, 24 hours of metal.
There we go. Speaking of that, let's get right into the next topic. New Meshuggah dropped last month. So let's all give a quick review of the new Meshuggah album. Johnny, you want to go first on what your thoughts are on Immutable?
I have not heard it. Although if somebody does post a link to it over in the Discord, I will listen to it.
I'll put it in there for
Thank you. Awesome.
I got you.
I'll say this, Johnny. They're one of my all-time favorite bands, and I don't like the new album. So you'll either really hate it or maybe you're like, oh, I actually like this.
Jay, did you listen to the whole thing?
No, I can't. I've tried to every song I put on them. Number one, the drums completely piss me off.
So Jay, why don't you go first? And
That's
tell
all
us
it
what you
takes.
think.
I'm going to.
I got
Hey,
it.
nobody's going to be able to go because you're going to have to throw the spike strips across the highway. Yeah, I mean the songs I've heard, obviously there's cool riffs,
Yeah.
but it's boring. Like there's like 2.5 riffs per song. They just go too long with certain things, and it's just very monotonous. And I don't know. I'm I've kind of accepted the fact that they're
not Meshuggah to you anymore.
they're not Meshuggah to me anymore.
It's kind of like, a kid at Christmas, and they kind of realize like what goes on. That's you. You're like 14 years old, 13 years old, and you're just like, what?
Or it's almost like in another Christmas.
That's too old for Christmas.
Yeah,
That's way too old.
another Christmas analogy is there's that moment.
house.
There's that moment when you're a kid. Yeah, watch out, Johnny. There's that moment when you're a kid that you're like, on Christmas morning, you're like, I've opened up all my good gifts. You have a couple gifts left, but you've either already opened up the coup de grace, the Sega Genesis, or whatever, the bicycle, your first BMX or something. That's already over with, but there's still a few small ones over there underneath the tree, and you're like, Christmas is over, right? There's that moment. that kind of you come down, from that Christmas boner.
That's how I
Or
feel with
the hot
Halloween.
girl in high school that was a 10, and then you see her 20 years later, and she's just a sea donkey, and you know it's over.
And in that
Right.
sense, you'll laugh because usually the hot ones were they weren't nice, they didn't want to talk to you, and then yeah.
Now they
You
won't
see
leave
'em-
you alone.
Yeah, now it's like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
You see him at the reunion talking to him. Speaking of reunion in high school, my boy Mazza is here. What's up, Justin?
Hey now.
Hey.
What's up?
All right, so getting back to Meshuggah, Jay, is there anything else you want to comment on it?
I would just say that there comes a point in most bands' careers, there's that moment where a band starts to go up with popularity and stuff. And then it seems like when that happens after that 2 to 3 album mark, all of a sudden they're self-producing. They don't need a producer anymore. And usually it'll work for an album or two. But the longer your career goes, albums come out, you get stuck in your ways, and maybe the inspiration isn't what it used to be. Sometimes you need a kick in the ass from somebody to come in and tell you it's not all roses and whatever.
Yeah.
You need to be kicked in the ass a little bit. And that's where they've been, I think, for the past couple albums.
Have you talked to Mark Lewis about this?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say what I'm not gonna say any of that conversation on here.
Oh no. I mean, because I know he was excited for it. I just didn't know if you guys chatted about it.
Yeah, we've chatted.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Cool. Kurt, what's your thoughts?
I'm still new to Meshuggah.
New?
Johnny
still
laughing at
nude?
me? New.
Oh.
I listened to about, I would say, the first 6 songs, and I was telling Boner Jams earlier today.
Really?
I thought the first song selection was a mistake. Just super long, really boring. But some of the guitar riffs are cool, but they just like repeat them over and over and over, so it wasn't catchy to me. I thought Abysmal Eyes was good. It wasn't didn't throw me back in the seat, but finally when that song came on, I was like, okay, this is okay. And then I like Phenomenons. And actually, Jay, I don't know how much you listened to the album, but as you get partway through that song, about, 3 or 4 minutes into it, they kind of do the bridge bending that Gizmachi does. So it kind of reminded me a little of Gizmachi. Maybe, similar.
I'll be honest. They play 8-string guitars a lot of the times. So my 7-string's over there, so I won't grab it. But one of their riffs on the album that they first played 8 strings on, they do like a first fret kind of burn,
That's what it was.
Yeah, so it's that type of thing. On an 8-string, you can do those bends and it sounds like your friggin' guitar, like you have a rubber guitar neck, and you're and that's honestly where we got the idea to do bridge bending, is from a Meshuggah riff.
Okay.
I was just joking around one day in the band practice room with Jimmy, and I started playing that riff, but obviously we have a 7-string, so I just reached around and grabbed the bridge, and I'm laughing as I'm doing it. I'm like, burn, I'm doing that, and he's like, dude, you should write a riff using that thing. And
Jay's reach around game.
Yeah,
very
it's
strong.
on point.
He parlayed his reach around into a bridge bending riff.
Yeah.
Pull those knuckles up. But I feel that I'm still new to the game, so they're ripping you off in my eyes.
Hey, I'll take it.
Hell yeah. That's cool. So overall, if you had to give it on this on the boner scale, Kurt, from just flaccid to high
probably
noon on your sundial,
a 4 where it's pointed down still, but there's quite a bit of blood. It's not, in the sky.
Oh,
That's
You asked.
good. I like that.
That's great.
Brian's red now. A lot of blood in his face.
I got sunburned this weekend for being out of the sun for 4 minutes.
You
Well,
get
listen,
sunburn from the computer screen.
Dude.
well, listen, Meshuggah, I mean, you got to think of it this way, right? Kurt, you're obviously not a huge metal fan. You know what I mean? Especially like extreme metal. That's not really your forte, right? So it's almost unfair to ask, because, dude, I've been a metal fan for a long time, obviously. And the first time I heard Meshuggah, I was like, what the hell is this? It sounds like everyone's playing a different song at the same time, you know?
But Jay, I want to go back and listen to some of their other stuff now after hearing this. So it opens my eyes a little bit, which I think is great.
Well, if you get into Meshuggah, dude, you'll start to notice slowly your like rhythm and your timing like improve, even if you don't play an instrument. It's crazy because I remember when I first started like listening to that stuff, no idea what was going on, and all of a sudden once you start like paying attention to two different rhythms, like polyrhythm stuff going on, it's things that start to like make more sense. You know, even just listening to music sometimes you'd be like,
just life gets
Yeah.
a little easier.
I don't know about that, but
Like Jay's walking game was a little stronger. It's like
I'm walking different speeds with each leg, you know, just
Going to get the mail.
yeah, I've taken 2 steps with my right leg and 1 long step with my left.
yeah, it's like
How would
bully
that
Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3. That's Jay walking down the road.
How would that look? But again, I mean, it's not like Meshuggah. I mean, they've been around a while, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like this is their 3rd album. So again, it's hard. I've said this before, guys. You know, it's unfair to compare a band that's 30 years into their career almost, right?
Yep.
It's unfair to compare an album that comes out now to when they were 25, 27 years old. I mean, it's you can't do it.
And they're from overseas, right?
Sweden, yeah.
Okay. Sweden.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So I'm my quick review of the new Meshuggah album, Immutable, that came out last month. I agree 100% with Kurt. I think Broken Cog was a terrible intro song. I just think it was kind of boring. And I've been saying this for years, and Jay and I have talked about it ad nauseum, but Meshuggah is just too repetitive. They can cut down their songs significantly, a lot of them. Just like Abysmal Eye. The riff is awesome. That intro riff that goes on for like 4 minutes. It's a cool ass riff, but it doesn't need to be that long.
Yeah, the intro riff doesn't need to be the verse riff and half the chorus riff.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I
then
mean?
like the outro riff is cool as shit. But like
Adds
there's a
depth
lot
to the song.
It's
When
like
it's
a
not long.
part of a song. Like, yeah, it's cool. Like, hey, that should be a really cool verse riff or something like that. It shouldn't be the whole song. So I think Jay, you hit it right on the head with they shouldn't be producing their own albums. They need someone else there to give them feedback, critiques. I don't know. I think the production is terrible.
Yes.
It just sounds like it was recorded on someone's cell phone. It doesn't sound like it was an album that came out in 2022. It sounded like it came out in like the late 90s, mid 90s, which is terrible production. It's disappointing from that standpoint.
Mhm.
But so those are my 2 things. But there's a song called Black Cathedral on it. It's just fast strumming and it's just a guitar. There's no drums, no bass, nothing. It's really cool. But if you listen to that song, you'll hear how terrible the quality is of the production. But there are some really cool guitar riffs. Like Kurt said, Phantoms is a cool song. The Faultless, that's my favorite song on the album. Armies the Preposterous is pretty cool too. So there's a lot of good stuff on it. It's just, I don't know. I like it, but I don't love it.
You like it, but you don't want more of it.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to go back and listen to it. You know, and if I'm going to listen to Meshuggah, this is not the album I'm going to listen to. Yeah. I'm really disappointed in the quality of the production. So, on my erection scale, I'm going to give it like a 3. I'm gonna give it about a 3. It's where like
3 inches.
it's about 3 inches. It's a softie. You know, it's not even there. It's like pregame
You
erection.
want it to be like it got excited before she came over.
Yeah,
You know, before
It's
she
like been in the pool for a while.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're about to engage in it, and then she has bad breath, and you're like, oh, it was getting there, it was
Or-
going, and then now it's like, oh man.
It's like in junior high when you're in gym class and you got to change, and you're like, man, I wish it was bigger right now, but it's not.
oh man.
Yeah. So that's it for me. It's a soft 3 for me. Definitely disappointed overall, but there are cool stuff elements. I think Jen's vocals are awesome. Absolutely, I think he sounds great. I really do. I don't know. That's about it. I'm disappointed overall.
Yeah.
So give me two albums of theirs that I should listen to.
Okay. Destroy, Erase, Improve. And yeah, definitely that one first. And I don't know. I don't think Kurt's ready for Chaos Sphere because I like Destroy, Erase, Improve after a while, and then Jimmy bought Chaos Sphere, and I was like, oh my god, like this is like throwing in like razor blades in that stuff. But then after a while, again, the same thing. You're like, oh my god, this is the Nun EP, right? That came out in '94, I believe.
I think he should listen to Kolos. I think that's a little more palatable for him. I think there'll be some stuff off that he would like Do Not Look Down, Demurge. Those are some good songs I think he'd like.
Okay.
I guess maybe.
But he's more of a mainstream type, but you're more of, blast me in the face, Ron Jeremy style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Meshuggah when they're aggressive and just unrelenting
Mhm.
for a little while. And then they will pull back and, play some clean stuff and whatever. But I don't know. It's almost like I consider, I'm just doing all these analogies in my head now. It's almost like you have a favorite baseball or football player, right? And then all of a sudden they get to year 10, 11, 12, if they get that lucky, stay healthy. And then your favorite ball player is not the best player on the team anymore. And then he loses his job and he's a bench, like it's almost like that. Like they're up here. Oh my God, this person, and then they just later in their career, you want them to, return to form, like Mike Tyson, like early in his career, he beat anybody.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
As the
so
years
that's
go
kinda
on, you like them more and more, and then all of a sudden it's a letdown, like immediately.
Man, but you're still pulling for them. You want them to be the best again. Just juice, man. Just steroids, man. Come on.
Yeah. Like Rex Grossman.
Oh man, I loved Rex Grossman for a while, man.
Sexy Rexy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
I'll never forget when he came in. It was a Monday night or Sunday night or a Monday night game against the Falcons. Orton was in. He was doing terrible.
It was a Sunday night game. It was like 7 degrees outside in Chicago.
It was in Chicago, yeah. And Rex Grossman comes in, just marches immediately down the field, just zip, 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 and we're like, "Oh, he's a god!" Remember that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's where I am. A band that you love. That was a huge part of, Meshuggah is a huge part of why obviously Gizmachi got into the polyrhythm, odd time stuff. So again, when a band who's a part of why you sound the way you do or why you play the way you do starts to,
it's like orgy with me.
So Jay, talk about that a little bit. Who brought that forefront of the band, or did you guys all like that type of music and you just happened to get together, or was the band already formed and you started to go another direction?
I'll try to make this as fast as possible. It was Jimmy. Jimmy always wanted us to like add more progressive elements to the band, like as far as like, oh, you should put a guitar harmony on that part, or you should do this. And then he'd start throwing in these crazy drum beats during riffs. And then, like I said, once I started listening to Meshuggah and kind of understanding that stuff, he wanted to always incorporate that. So we slowly started to get a little more progressive in that aspect. And then once everybody in the band kind of like heard what it was sounding like, everybody was just like, all right, because like Chris, he's not the biggest extreme metal type of fan, like once he was on board with everything, that was it. Like the gloves were off and we were just going for broke after that. Because again, you're a band, Johnny, same thing. Like if you're in a band with other guys, like everybody wants the band to sound like they want them to sound. But if you're going to be in a band that's going to stay together and be able to get along and work musically, there's got to be that push and pull of like, okay, I like that, but maybe we do this kind of like a piece. Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? When you like in a relationship, same type of thing. You can't always get your way. You have to have that
compromise.
Yes. Compromise. Yep. And as long as all parties are happy that are writing the music, it'll work.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Chemistry.
The biggest bands that I was in, I wasn't like a main writer, so I just, I joined the band. There was already pre-existing material, and then so you kind of make it. You kind of take on a part, but then what that does later on is that shapes that makes me a totally different player than before I was in that situation.
Yeah.
So I now, like, my style is a whole mix of like all the different things that I've done. I mean, people look at me thinking, oh, I'm all about Eddie, which Eddie was a huge influence on me, but I'd actually rather play a hardtail guitar and not do any of this type of stuff like myself. But then, yeah, as far as being in bands where I have been in bands where I was the main writer, and that's where it can get boring because you want like other people, you want their feedback and to co-write with people. Otherwise, if it's just you, it can get very boring really fast. If you can do anything you want, Yeah.
I can see both. I can see both ways. I mean, obviously, if you're in a band with other people, that the suggestions that they make actually work, instead of somebody like, no, man, this should do this instead, and it's like, oh my god, why would we do that? Why would we, that? Then
it depends. It really depends on it, but
yeah,
yep,
yeah,
cool. All right, so last topic of the night. Great segue to our list for the evening. Top 10 singers in the metal / hard rock genre.
Dude,
we were not going to talk Metal Lords, huh?
It's 10:30. You think there's going to be any possibility we're getting through 40 or 30 or however many best singers or favorite singers of all time?
We should be able to.
We got to.
I mean, I know
explain them though.
Well,
yeah, no,
we got to talk about Metal Lords before we go.
All right, so we can hit on Metal Lords after this, but I'm gonna start. You know why? I put this together.
Yep,
you're the boss.
I have a few honorable mentions. So again,
vulnerable mentions
of metal singers and hard rock. But a couple of these are not necessarily metal and hard rock. I just love them. I sent you guys a song today of a band I love. So I'm honorable mentions. Was that?
I was surprised.
Yeah, David Gahan, Depeche Mode. Love him. I think he's the man.
I didn't listen to it.
Of course not.
I did.
And then, also, another singer I love is Dolores O'Riordan from Cranberries. I think she's amazing.
Is that hard rock or heavy metal?
I'm gonna go with hard rock. But also David Gahan, if someone's like, hey, Depeche Mode is not hard rock. If it wasn't for Depeche Mode, there'd be no Nine Inch Nails and there would be no industrial music. So
yeah. And on my list, Brian, I didn't go, I took out a lot of, I tried to stick with metal, new metal, harder rock, but if you're throwing Cranberries out there, maybe I need to redo my list.
No, we'll be back next month. Kurt just invited him on next month's show. Invited himself on next month.
So a couple other honorable mentions, vulnerable mentions. Bjorn Strid, love Bjorn, love Soilwork. Also, he did a dope job on Omega Collide with Gizmachi. So,
Yes, he did.
also Joe Duplantier from Gojira. I love him. So
I love him. Oh my God, I love
I
him.
do. He just didn't make the top 10. So those are my honorable mentions, and I'll go number 10 first, and then we'll go to Kurt. Stephen
And Jay
Richards
said there was
from
going to be
Taproot.
30. There's actually 37 because he just had a bunch that he added on top.
Absolutely. Yeah, so number 10 for me, Stephen Richards from Taproot. I love Taproot. Said it a million times in the show, but I think he's a great singer. Real smart guy. How he analyzes songs are pretty cool, and I love his voice. So there we go. Number 10, Stephen Richards. Jay, what do you got?
Oh, well, if anybody's watched this channel or this show, Sammy Hagar. I mean, it's obvious, right? He could have been the lead singer in any rock/hard rock band in the 80s and 90s and been fine, you know. And he has one of the best voices and range and all that stuff for any rock singer, I think.
Not only that, but I think Sammy Hagar is the man, though. He seems like a cool dude.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I've met him several times, and he's exactly what you see.
really, like super cool,
Yeah.
super nice guy.
Yep.
Would
These
you rather
guys-
would you rather have a beer with Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth? And listen, I know there's going to be people, oh, David Lee Roth. But are you going to be able to sit there and have a conversation with David Lee Roth?
Bozy bop, zooty bop.
No.
I
No
couldn't
way.
do it.
Like you could sit there and shoot the shit with Sammy and
Yeah,
And it
I
would
would
be
definitely
cool.
hang out with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
David Lee Roth squeals and stuff. I'm not hanging out with that guy.
I love those old time squeals.
Do it, Jay.
That's that hurt just doing that. All right, Sammy is he's up. I don't have any numbers on these. It's just
Okay,
go ahead.
go ahead, Kurt.
So I told you my list. I was trying to stick with metal. I didn't
Mhm.
go with of all time, but
Mhm.
Jonathan Davis of Korn.
Wow.
Yeah, just that was a big time, and coming out of high school, Korn was pretty new. That new metal, and I thought his voice and the way he sang was very unique and catching. So that's kind of what drew me to it. So,
Cool.
is he on your list, Brian?
Absolutely.
Of course he's on Brian's
On the
list. He's on
the
his
boner list.
he's on his boxer shorts. What are you talking?
Me, he's on my back. I have a tattoo of
Oh,
Jonathan
that's right,
Davis
you
on
do.
my back.
Right.
All right, Kurt. Who else do you have?
Is this a snake draft? We starting off with me again.
Yeah, snake draft.
Make it take it.
So you guys familiar with the band Seether?
Yes.
So Sean Morgan from South Africa. I think he's got a great voice. Not sure as far as where they fall in metal. Could be, hard rock or new rock, but I think he's great. He's got a great voice.
You're a big Seether fan?
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. And I have a brief story of Sean Morgan. So a buddy of mine who's a State Farm agent, and one day
Plug.
one of his employees is like, "Hey, there's a gentleman here. He wants to see you and wants to review some insurance." It was him. I was like, "Wow, that's got to be pretty awesome." All of a sudden, you have the singer of Seether coming into your office to review some like car insurance. So
Yeah, see, I wouldn't.
He's a
even
big
know
guy
who the hell it
too.
is.
You don't know who it is?
No.
you say he's a good guy or a big guy?
Big guy.
He's a big guy. Yeah, he's a big guy. Like heavy set or big? Just tall.
Both.
Okay.
All right, Jay. What about you?
Yeah.
Let's see. My next one is, and listen, I'm not going to enter this guy in any singing contests, but James Hetfield is on my list because his voice is the reason why thrash metal and that type of metal in general became mainstream. That whole story about John Bush tried out, was asked to be Metallica's singer because at the time James Hetfield didn't sing.
Mhm.
And he obviously turned it down. He was doing Armored Saint, which he still is. But if James Hetfield's voice wasn't the voice in Metallica, they wouldn't be anywhere near as big as they are.
Correct.
His voice is palatable to everybody.
Mhm.
Especially the Master of Puppets voice all the way through the Black Album.
Mhm.
I mean, it's the voice that that's why Metallica is what they are, is because of his voice. So
Okay.
So these aren't in order for you, Jay. You're just going.
no, I just wrote them down as I was hanging out today because I didn't check the notes app until this afternoon. So busy.
All right.
It's your birthday too.
Yeah.
And I had no idea about this myself, so I'm just sitting here.
So number 9 for me.
If you want to chime in, man. You could,
I like how you said Sammy Hagar, man.
Of course, I love
he's one of the greatest voices in rock.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Sammy.
Yep.
Yep.
Sammy could sing on anything. And actually, you guys were talking Depeche Mode. Sammy actually covered a Depeche Mode song years ago.
Did he? Which song?
On one of his records.
What song is it?
Oh, crap. John Biel.
Well, I bet it was better than the original.
Was it? I forget, but
Was it on Standing Hampton or later, or was it on?
oh, it was just like within the past 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm gonna look.
Find it.
Oh yeah.
Sammy Hagar, Depeche Mode.
All right. So as Johnny's looking that up, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
My number 9, I
See ya.
have Mike Patton from Mr. Bungle, Faith No More, Fantomas. He's the man. Mike Patton's the man.
He's on my
Personal
list
Jesus.
too.
Mhm.
Yep.
It was Personal Jesus. That's what he covered. Sammy Hagar and Friends.
Oh yeah. I
Did
Bill
he?
Schoen actually played guitar on it.
No,
Did he?
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
can't talk about Van Halen, so I'm not bringing it up.
He got warned. He got kicked in the shin.
He did.
I
did.
got buzzed on the phone.
Got buzzed. No whammies. No whammy.
So now, Snake Style, number 8 for me is Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. Lane Staley's the man.
Yeah.
He is the man.
He was a name that I had on my list, and then I forgot to put him on there.
Cool. What do you got, Jay, next?
But let me ask you this question about Lane Staley, right? Out of those guys that are in like the main major grunge bands, right?
Mhm.
If you were starting a band, which voice would you take from their prime?
Cornell.
Would you take Eddie Vedder? Would you take Lane Staley? Would you take Scott Weiland? Would you take Chris Cornell? Or Kurt Cobain. I'm taking Cornell every time.
Chris Cornell is one of the best singers in any genre of all time. He's phenomenal. His range, his emotion.
Because he could sing back when he was in his prime. He could literally sing anything. Like you listen to Outshine and stuff. It's like, those screams and stuff. He's getting a little metal in there. He's singing high up. He can sing the slower stuff, the softer stuff, the harder stuff, the in between. When he was in his prime, he could do it all.
I saw him a month before he passed away, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah, up till he
still hit
passed,
that
he was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's such and plus he played guitar. He wrote some of the best Soundgarden riffs they had too. He wrote Rusty Cage.
His concert was him and another guy. It was just two of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible.
I like the 007 theme that he did.
I don't know about that.
Chris
Hear
Cornell.
that?
He covered. He did the theme for one of the Bond movies.
Did he?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We probably heard it on the commercials then, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's amazing. All right, Jay. I'm sorry. Did you say another one?
Did I?
I don't know.
Well, you already said Bjorn. I'm going with him too on mine. This is going to be a popular one. Kip Winger. Kip Winger. What did you say? Yep.
Kip Winger.
Kip Winger.
Kip Winger.
I've always loved his voice.
You have. You've always been a big.
I've seen them live. I've seen live videos.
Seen them nude.
I've seen videos of him play at like in the entranceway or whatever of like a ski lodge back in the day when nobody gave a crap with people talking around him. And he is just, man, I've always been a fan. And listen, you could say all you want about Winger, Kip Winger. Just know that literally of any of those glam metal or hard rock bands that were in the same category as Winger in the late 80s, early 90s, the talent in Winger, the band, blew literally every one of those other bands away. Like they were just ridiculous musicians.
I think we gotta throw the road trip in now because you're crazy right now.
Yep.
I like you, man. You're crazy.
You're crazy.
You go to Gordon Neck.
It's my one when I was typing it in, I started like, I can't wait to say this one.
Guilty pleasure.
Hi.
Jay's got that poster in his bedroom. I saw it.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
I wish that's I always try to get the Kip Winger 5 o'clock shadow. Yep. I can't do the chest hair.
There you
though.
go.
Is it next all those photos of the Playgirls I sent you, Kurt? That, Jay
Yeah.
had?
Those are it. Jay imagines running his fingers through that hair like it's a Zen garden on his
Dude,
head.
I wish I had that hairdo. Imagine I came on the show with that hairdo.
Then we would kick you off that show. And if you ever
Long,
looked
long
at me like
earring.
that, we would fight.
Dude. I love me some Winger.
He looks like he should be in Lost Boys. Michael.
Yo, if Winger came out in like 85, they would have been. I mean, I know when they came out and stuff, and the second album came out,
He came out.
They were obviously pretty big. But if they would have come out like 4 years earlier, 3 years earlier than they did, they would have been like through the roof as far as their popularity and stuff like that.
No, I'll admit, I had all their. Well, I didn't have their third record. I had totally lost interest by that point. But that first album and that second album I had, and I saw them live, and I you like that one, huh? And yeah, they were great, and it just, it was it was the right place, right time, and then it was the wrong place, wrong time for them.
Yeah, it's almost like because obviously the song that put them on the radar or on the map was 17, but it's also the song that killed them. Like if it wasn't for that song,
Yeah, 'cause he went to jail because she's only.
well, not in South Carolina.
He went
It's
there,
actually
people.
encouraged down there.
But no, it's that's what I'm saying is like, you could in the 80s you could put out songs like that. But once it got to grunge, man, and you're known for a song like that, any of that glam stuff,
Yeah,
you were done. You were toast, man.
It's over.
Yep.
Over.
True. Very true. All right. Well, we've talked way too long about Kip Winger. Kurt, can you go? So we don't have
Yeah,
to look at the
this
picture
would be a
anymore?
controversial one. John Bush. So I was introduced to Anthrax with Sound of White Noise. I think I was a sophomore in high school. In driver's ed, people could bring their own CD on the day they were driving to listen to, and one of my buddies brought that CD, and I immediately fell in love with it. And I know Jay sent me some of the older stuff on Anthrax, but I thought John Bush's voice was very metal and awesome. So when you're introduced to a band at a certain point, that's kind of the starting point,
it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, and like you said, I think that's pretty much why they got rid of Joey and went with John Bush is because at that time, 91, well, I think it would have been
91.
92, right? When that album came out, 93? 93, I think. So they were
93.
Yeah, so they were trying to sound a little heavier and a little more metal. Less thrash metal. Because Joey Belladonna's voice, which, Anthrax to me is Joey Belladonna, his voice with that music.
Agreed.
But I understand, with like Jimmy, our Gizmachi drummer, he loves the John Bush Anthrax. Well, not loves it, but he preferred John Bush over
Prefers it. Yeah.
Yeah, way more.
I like the Sound of White Noise. That's a great album.
Oh, yeah, but it's the only great album that they put out with John Bush, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because of him, or do you think it was the music? I think it's more of the music than John Bush. After that,
I think it was the music at the same time. Like a lot of those metal bands didn't put out full metal albums anymore. They were trying to kind of blur the lines to get accepted by the people that, the younger audience, I guess.
Agreed.
It was fresh, right? Freshness, new.
Yeah. But
The
it's
new
almost
hotness.
like
Yeah.
almost, I don't think Sound of White Noise is as good as 5150, but it's almost the same thing. You get a band that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would have been Anthrax's sixth Sound of White Noise, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
almost like the same point in the career as a Van Halen, where you get a new singer in there, everybody's juiced up again, and the excitement.
I was going to mention that, but then I couldn't.
But then what?
I remember I couldn't
Oh,
compare it to 5150.
We actually are going to make you change your name for the show tonight too.
Kurt Busch.
About time.
Yeah. Kurt.
All right, so Kurt, give us another one. John Bush.
All right,
Who's your
another controversial. Jerry Cantrell.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. You listen
Really?
to a lot of that Alice in Chains stuff and his solo stuff. He was the other half of that
He was.
of that band with his voice.
He's got an amazing voice.
Yeah.
And check the writing credits. He wrote the melodies and the lyrics in the majority of Alice in Chains music.
I didn't listen. I know he came out last year with other solo album. I didn't listen to it. I should, but Degradation
okay.
Trip. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That came
Oh,
out
yeah.
like in the early 2000s, and I was a big fan. I
it's a good
haven't
album.
listened to it in a long time, and I didn't really think about it, but I'm definitely going to listen to it right after the show tonight. So
And
I've
that's
seen
another
Alice in
reason
Chains 7 times and Jerry Cantrell sing solo once.
nice.
That's another reason why I would choose like Cornell over Lane Staley, because Cornell wrote, his stuff.
Yeah. Correct. Jay, what do you got next?
Oh, well, you already said Mike Patton. I'm going to go with a little bit of Maynard James Keenan from Tool.
He was on my honorable mentions.
Yeah, vulnerable mentions.
Sorry.
Vulnerable mentions.
So sorry.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
He's another reason why, a vocalist obviously can make or break your band, but you got certain guys that obviously his voice is he's another one of those guys that his voice takes that band up a few notches just because of the uniqueness, and obviously he can sing his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the majority of the reason why that band is where they are.
Sure. Cool. My next one is from one of my favorite bands who I'm going to see in a couple weeks. Chino Moreno, Deftones, Crosses. Hell yeah, love Chino. I know Jay's not a huge Chino fan,
It's not on my list.
but I love Chino.
Just missed by like that much.
But yeah, I love his singing, his screaming, his crooning. I'm a big fan. Plus, a lot of his inspirations are bands I love, like Morrissey. I love Morrissey. I think Morrissey's awesome. I know Johnny Beane loves Morrissey. Johnny Beane.
Huh?
Jesus. I tried to set you up right there. It was like an
Morrissey?
alley-oop.
Yeah,
Are you a Morrissey fan?
He's a yeah.
What about like
I'd
The
re-
Smiths?
I'd rather listen to Morrissey than Deftones.
What's going on right now?
I'd rather listen to Jim Morrison.
No,
I'd
do you like
rather
The
listen
Smiths?
to Tinnitus.
Listen to
I'd rather see more of Kip Winger's chest hair. See what I did there?
I'd rather floss with Kip's chest hair than listen.
Wow. All right, we're gonna move on. So my number 6 I have is Phil Peach and Selmo from Pantera. And Down. I love Love Phil, even though I think his vocals fell off after a period of time, but
Oh, really? Is this news? Is this rolling off the presses as we speak? The ink's still wet, guys.
it's my turn. It's my turn, damn it. I'm
Sorry.
trying to talk.
My
Thank
bad.
you. But yeah, everything through Great Southern Tranquil. I love his voice. Some of his lyrical content was a huge fan of because I'm not a big fan of drugs. That doesn't work for me. But besides that, I think he fit perfectly with Pantera. I really do. So yeah, so that was so Chino and then Philip H and Selmo. Jay, what else you got?
Wasn't it? Is it Kurt's turn?
No, it's a snake draft.
Yeah.
With snake in it.
Oh.
Hard.
Trouser trout.
Trousers snake. You might want to watch out. It's liable to strike. I'm going to go with a little
One
bit
bite
of,
from this snake will kill you. Oh shit! It just bit me.
Look at this. You see this? The fang. I'm going to go with a little bit of Tim Ripper Owens. Anybody?
Tim Ripper Owens from Judas Priest,
He
right?
was in Judas Priest, took over obviously for Rob Halford, which is no easy task. But he's more or less. I know he has his own stuff going on, but he's been on obviously some guest appearances with other bands. But he was also in oh my god, why can't I think of the band's name right now? He did 2 records with oh crap. Somebody help me out, man. You guys aren't gonna know. Anyway. And I've always just been a huge fan of, because he's one of those guys as well. Like he can do so many different styles with his voice. Look at Brian. like a shriveled up dickhead. Like when like you wake up and it's just been smashed all night, like and you go to take a whiz in the morning. You're pissing on the wall.
Speaking of
You guys,
eBay,
when you're tight with Jay when he starts saying that you look like a penis that's been smashed against the wall.
he sang with Yngwie Malmsteen.
No,
Is
Iced
that what
Earth.
you meant?
Iced Earth. The first record he did with Iced Earth, the Glorious Burden. If there's any thrash metal fans in here, or metal fans, give the Glorious Burden a listen. Yeah, he's in Charred Walls of the Damned with Richard Christie, who I'm a huge fan of. Obviously, his comedy and his drumming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's one of those guys that if I did that type of metal record, I would love to have him sing on it. He can do all that stuff, the heavy stuff, the falsetto, all that glorious stuff that he's known for, and not sound cheesy when he does it either. That's what I love about it.
Cool.
It's like some guys do that and you're like, and then Tim Ripper Owens do it. It's like, hell yeah, dude.
Oh. All right, what else? What's your next one?
All right. Dave Mustaine,
Whoa.
Megadeth.
You sure?
Yeah,
You
I
sure
like
about
him,
that one?
especially
Well,
stuff from the 90s. I think he's got a very unique voice, and it's singable stuff. You want to sing along with it. I like it.
Wow.
Hello, me.
Yeah.
Meet the real.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
just, it's awesome.
That's cool. What
I'm
about
not
you,
gonna
John?
argue that it's awesome, but it's a very, like you said, it's a very unique style. It's almost like the heavy metal version of Axl Rose with that type of nasally, throaty, that type of stuff.
Yeah, great. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Meet me on your level. Sorry.
Yeah, he's one of those voices. It's like you instantly know it's him. It's
100%.
not. I mean, I don't want to say this publicly, but it's like, is it?
Well,
It's not as how would you say this? It's not like you're not going to give out any. Like I said before, you're not going to enter any singing contests, right? but for some reason it works with that music, and it's probably part of the reason why Megadeth is what they are, is because of that unique voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh? What about you, Johnny? Any other singers that you want to mention?
You're talking metal?
Well, hard
Metal,
rock.
hard rock.
I mean, dude, I mentioned Kip Winger, for Christ's sake. I
Hard
think
rock?
you can just,
I mean, a lot of the guys you already mentioned. I mean, Hagar, Chris Cornell. I like it. Who mentioned Cranberries? That was interesting because
I did.
they're not really. I mean, they're not metal, but
They're hard rock.
yeah. Actually, the last NAMM show that I went to, I drove, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all I listened to was Cranberries. Actually.
I love Cranberries. Hell yeah. I listen to them all the time, every day.
Cool.
wow, Smitty with the Dave is the best unconventional metal. I'd put metal there, metal vocalist. Yeah, it's true. Because
Yeah.
that type of voice, you don't know if the masses are gonna listen to that and be like, oh yeah, I like that. There's some bands I'll turn on sometimes, and like the music's cool, and then some weird vocalist will come in like, what is that? Like they're just trying to be weird just for the sake of being weird.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jay, what's another one you have?
I'm gonna go with a little bit of Bruce Dickinson. Because obviously he could sing. He's gotten better as he's aged. When you watch some of those live concerts from the 80s and stuff, I think he might have been partying a little bit back then. But once his cardio was up and he got a little older and took it a little more seriously, that 2000, I think, video, Rock in Rio or whatever, Maiden, whatever the hell their Rio one is called, where there's like 100,000 people or some crap. I mean, I know some of the stuff might be overdubbed, but I don't know if Maiden really does that with his voice, But he's just phenomenal. And he's another one of those guys who was the original Maiden singer? I forget his name. But if Bruce
Boris
Dickinson,
Karloff? Boris Karloff, I think.
No. Isn't it
No,
like
he's
Paul,
a big hefty guy.
Paul D something, right?
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
Paul Blart.
If Bruce Dickinson wasn't the singer in that band, Paul Di'Anno, there you go. Thank you. I hope I'm saying it right. But I know there's a lot of
Paul Di'Anno.
original Iron Maiden fans,
Paul
that
Di'Anno.
like the first album or two, whatever the hell it was.
We got a prank caller calling in.
But
Are you guys
Dickinson is as
taking
big as
calls?
they are, or Dickinson. Jesus Christ. Iron Maiden's as big as they are because of Bruce Dickinson's voice.
Agreed.
Are you guys taking calls? Quick call.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on the air.
I was just going to say Paul Di'Anno, but yeah, somebody put it in the chat already.
Schmidt.
Oh,
Is this Kip Winger?
Schmidt.
Is this
Sure,
Paul
yeah.
Di'Anno himself?
Is this Kip?
Paul Di'Anno. Good vocalist for me, gotta say.
Is this
Awesome.
Kip? On the...
Who's calling?
That's Schmidt.
Caller, where
Schmitey.
you calling from?
I know who this is because, well, it says for one thing, but I talk to this guy every night over on, well, there you go, over on
Dick
Twitch.
Bigginson.
Is this Smitty?
Yeah.
You hear that, Jay?
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Some very good picks so far.
Thanks,
Thanks,
man.
Smitty.
Right on, man. I'll see you later, dude.
See you
All right,
later,
thanks,
dude.
Theo.
Hang 10.
Goodbye, eh?
Take off, eh?
You poser. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could put Halford up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dickinson.
Dick Bigginson. I like that.
Kurt, how many left do you have?
I got like 4 or 5 left. You guys
Oh
will
my
probably tar and feather me.
No, you go ahead. Why don't you rattle a few off? Because pretty much the rest of mine have been mentioned except one. So go ahead.
You guys know Brent Smith?
Shinedown.
Yeah.
This is a perfect time to take a leap.
I'm a big fan of Shinedown. I think he's got an amazing voice. See, there you go. Now we can talk about Jay's face for a while. Yeah, I think I like Brent Smith. I think he's awesome. Let's see, what else do I have here? Chris Cornell's been mentioned. You know who Josie Scott is? Saliva.
Yeah, the guy from Saliva.
Yeah,
He sucks.
from Memphis, Tennessee. He's kind of got a. You don't. What'd you say, Brian?
No, I'm just busting your balls. I just wanted to see what you were gonna say. I was like, he sucks.
Yeah, he got kicked out of the band
He did?
like 10 years ago, but I think they were better with him. He's got kind of a country type metal voice, so he was one on my list. A big one, Ozzy Osbourne. I like the No More Tears and Osmosis era in the 90s. I think Ozzy really had it together back then.
Yeah.
Wasn't a huge Black Sabbath
You mean
fan.
Sharon had Ozzy together back then?
I thought I heard something, but I didn't. Just in my head. I mean, how could you not have Ozzy on the list?
I don't, but I don't disagree with you. But also, Ozzy's not like
those albums in the late 90s, his vocals were tracked incredibly well. I mean, I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
I
like it too.
still this day listen to it.
Octopus
What do you
Ears
think,
makes
Jay?
a good point. I mean, he says Ozzy is very one-dimensional, but again, he's one of those guys that every whether it's Black Sabbath, obviously when he went solo, it's his voice is one of those voices that it's like it's Ozzy Osbourne.
yeah.
And the guy can hardly walk, and he just did his albums the last 3 or 4 years. He can still sing,
But do you
it's
Do you
amazing.
think he really wants to do it anymore? Or do you think it's just Sharon be like, no, that money's going to still keep rolling in there. You're going to stand in front of that goddamn microphone.
It's money, right?
Yeah.
Trying to think what that last. Yeah, that album Scream. When did that come out? 2010.
Gosh.
10 years ago.
Mhm.
He still had the chops back then.
I've never. Is that a good
pulling
album?
it off live. There's 2 songs on there that are good. Yeah.
Oh, 2 songs. Jesus.
But I mean, come on. Right?
No, it's
Add him to
cool.
the list. Well, why, I know
I do
for
like
me,
Ozzy.
it's got to be 3 or 4 songs on the album to make it a good album, but there's a couple good songs on it.
3 or 4. What? That's it?
What do you want all 10 to be?
No,
Home
it's. I think it's got to be at least 75%. Like no skippers, maybe even close to 80%.
Kurt, you do
Now-
you. Don't worry. You do you, buddy.
I would agree with you, Jay, back in the day when you bought a CD or a tape or vinyl. But nowadays, when you can go into Spotify or Apple Music and you can pick 2 or 3 songs off each album and make your own album,
Yeah.
like it's right there at your fingertips. It's easy.
No, I'm with you, but I just feel like for a band to be considered a great band, you gotta put out a consistently. There might be a couple, filler songs on an album. 2 songs on like a 10-song album that you might be like, they needed to fill the time up.
Sure.
But
Kurt, do you have anyone else?
James Hetfield was on there as well, but you guys already said that. That's about it.
anything you want to add to James Hetfield? Because I could listen to this all day.
No, he's the ultimate frontman, he's the backbone of that band. And I think he's another unique singer, just with his, I don't even know what you call him, the way he extends the words out when he sings them. It's very catchy. And he's one of those, another guy, I know he doesn't drink anymore, but love to have a beer with him, right?
Yeah.
Probably tell some cool stories.
Having no duels with them.
Yeah, or Coors Cutters.
Yeah, I've described his voice before as like velvet sandpaper. You know, like obviously he sang with rasp and all that stuff and heavy, but there was something smooth about it that was just, you know.
He was like an iron worker that works in dust and smoke all day, but he can sing, you know.
Got the black lung.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of Hetfield, did you get those picks, Brian?
I did. Yeah,
Did you try them out?
For them. I love them.
Yeah, I know. Did you try them out?
Yeah.
Jay still has his in the condom.
I was hoping they were. Never mind. I gotta.
I've unfurled mine and I've been using it. I had a beating today, and I'm playing during the meeting. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah. Jay, is there any other singers that you didn't
You
mention?
know, I threw in. I put Sebastian Bach on there as well because I think, "Slave to the Grind" is one of the best vocal performances on any hard rock / heavy metal album. I'm sure there were moments. I'm sure there were moments in that studio when they were recording that album, when guys were looking around at each other like, "Holy shit! Did you hear that take? Did you hear that note he just hit?" You know, like that's a producer's dream in the studio. Has got to be like, you know, you have to know your limitations of the artist you're working with. You know, you can't have some guitar player that, you know, is pretty much a rhythm guitar player and start suggesting, "Hey, can you throw this sweep in here on this part?" And, you know, this crazy pentatonic thing. Like, you got to know people's limitations when you're working with them.
Sure.
And could you imagine being a producer on that record and knowing that you could suggest anything to this singer and they could pull it off? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, no, Sebastian Bach was the man. Yeah, I agree.
Smitty says he cooked lunch for Hetfield when he was in Vancouver to record the Black Album.
Was he cool? I've heard mixed reviews of old Hetfield.
Papa Het.
Yeah,
I heard he was cool.
I heard
Did
it
you work at
depends
the
on
restaurant they were at in the documentary when they were in Vancouver?
Oh, is that the one?
I don't know.
That
Where
might.
the three of them
that-
were sitting at the
I'm
table.
sure that. Yeah, I'm sure they went to multiple restaurants. Yeah, that was the one night they went to some nice restaurants.
They were eating salad or something, I think there.
That's awesome.
I don't want to say an honorable mention, but I wanted to throw somebody in there that's kind of like in a band that, you know, I feel they're still in their prime and getting more popular. Singer from Crazy Licks, man, Danny Rexon. I think he's awesome. And they played the Monsters of Rock cruise with our buddy Caleb and Nerd Halen, and literally 15 minutes before Crazy Licks was going on stage, Caleb went backstage, called him over, and said, "Hey, you know, a buddy of mine, his daughter is 5 years old. She loves Crazy Licks. You know, can you just say hi to her?" And Danny was cool enough to, you know, have Caleb film him saying hi to Ellie and blah blah blah.
That's
And,
awesome.
Did she flip
You know,
out?
you know, Kurt and Brian, you know this having kids, like, you know, if some artist or band or whoever it is that you like and your kid likes, if they take 5 seconds to do something like that for them, I mean, you know, the respect goes up, you know, a shitload.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
My son's
That's really
wearing
cool.
his Gizmachi shirt today because it's Metal Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
If only,
like,
if
laid it
only I
out.
was as cool as Danny Rexon.
He laid it out in his bedroom like 3 days ago, waiting for Wednesday.
Oh man,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's great. Tell him we said hi.
I will.
Jay, you have anyone else?
I think that was it, man.
Jay, what do you think of Miles Kennedy from Alter Bridge?
I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's again one of those guys that can sing for anybody and nail it.
Yeah,
I think he
He's from-
did. There was a rock cruise a couple years ago, where I think George Lynch, and I think it was Lynch Mob actually at the time, and Miles Kennedy was singing for them, and they played some old Dokken tunes, and it was like, whoa, you know, you haven't heard those songs sung like
Singed.
that
Yeah.
since the album,
Unsung.
like since like 87, you know, 85 or whatever. But he's, you know, I'm a fan of him in Alter Bridge. Yeah, he's got a great voice. Again, one of those guys that can sing for anybody in that genre and pull it off great.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's from Spokane, Washington, just right up the road from me.
It's not Spokane?
Spokane. Just north of Oregon.
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 We got some great names. Gary Bucknoff said, I'm surprised, Boner Jams, that you didn't mention Corey Taylor.
I haven't finished up yet.
Oh,
the chat's been putting in some good names too.
yeah,
Sure.
Devin Townsend.
Devin
who I think
Townsend's
is one of the
awesome.
most talented musicians
Absolutely.
on the planet.
All right, so I have a couple real quick. A couple we already mentioned, but for number, you know, I had Greg Puciato from Dillinger. I love his voice. I think he's cool as hell. Big fan of him. Jens Kidman from Meshuggah. We talked about Meshuggah earlier. Chris Cornell, obviously. Jonathan Davis. Honorable mention, a person I forgot to mention before, and I can't believe I left him off, is Zach De La Rocca from Rage Against the Machine.
I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he says one word. Everyone knows it's him. Everyone knows, oh, that's Rage. You know? Plus his screaming is awesome.
Was awesome.
But he's not.
I have all their stuff.
Yeah. He's not in, like top 10 in my list, but I would feel terrible if we didn't discuss him. But my number one singer of all time, of any genre or anything, is Corey Taylor. For
Figured.
5,000 reasons, which we can't discuss. But Corey Taylor can sing. He was one of the first singers that screams that I can understand everything he says. I don't have to look at I know what he's saying. Like he enunciates everything properly. Like you can really understand him, even though he's, you know, screaming. I'm trying not to swear, but he's I don't know. I think Corey Taylor is, you know, is like to me is my rock metal god. Him and Jim Root, love them. And so yeah, Corey Taylor by far is number one for me.
5,000 clicks on the boner track.
Fully erect, 11. Like this never. Oh man, I got to remember this.
Yeah, it's almost going backwards. It's so flaccid.
Mike,
Yeah.
you're an.
Yeah,
But keep them coming in the chat, guys.
What's
Keep
that?
them coming. Keep them coming in the chat, guys.
Yeah,
Who your
Majestic
favorite is.
BB and J Cat. I did not mention Lejean. I should have. I'm a huge Seven Dust fan. Yeah, he's great. Definitely honorable mention for him. And no, Soli Erna does not make the cut. He doesn't make any cut. Sorry. Yeah, so that's our I guess our top metal singers in hard rock. From Kurt, Jay, Johnny, and
That was fun.
B Jams.
You guys want to see something cool?
Jesus.
Look at this, Jay. You're gonna freak out.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Cemetery just sent this in. He said that he also was a part of this. Look at this, man.
Oh,
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
look at
god.
that. Would you look at that?
That's awesome.
Yep.
Wow. Caterer. Now I know what he's a hell of a cook.
Yeah, he must be.
That's great.
Yeah.
Jay, I know you wanted to quickly talk about a movie. Is that correct?
He's on the phone with his mother. Oh boy. Yeah, so Metal Lords.
Metal Lords.
You haven't checked it out yet?
I know it's about. I was going to watch it, and then I took a coma. I fell asleep for a long time. So, no. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so my son and I, we watched it on Sunday. I was telling you in the green room, it was filmed in Portland, Oregon. It's about
Fucking
a
bone.
guy in high school who is just a metal fanatic, and he recruits this, we'll call him a nerd, to play drums. And the whole movie, we won't do the spoiler, but the whole movie they're trying to form a band and they're trying to recruit a bass player so they can be whole. And the whole
For the
thing,
Battle of the Bands.
yeah, for the Battle of the Bands, which is cool to think that schools still do that. And in the Battle of the Bands is a bunch of different genres, and the metal guys are kind of the redheaded stepchild, I would say, in the school. But what I liked about the movie is the whole thing had teasers and flashes of all the metal that we all love, whether it be posters, songs, cameos,
Guitars, amps.
guitars, amps, posters, T-shirts. It was great. I was very surprised. My son's watched it again. He's watched it twice now. But I thought it was great. And I was telling Jay, Tom Morello was the producer for the music on it.
Yeah, the music director or whatever they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, Kurt, what does your son listen to? Like, what's his favorite bands?
Man, he listens to everything. I'll put it that way. Lately, he's been listening to this band from Pasadena. They were really hot in the late 70s, 80s, and 90s, but I can't mention their name.
They have brothers playing the band, you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
They had a very flamboyant lead singer.
Yeah. But he listens to everything. Like when he rides in the car with me, I'll be playing something, and he's got Shazam out, and he's like getting all these songs because, you know, he digs it all. But
That's cool.
You got to check out the movie. Jay, what do you think?
I loved it. Jeff T kind of sums it up. He says it wasn't cheesy. And that's, you know, us hard rock and metal fans. I mean, we all can admit we're sticklers with stuff. We're purists, right? If something isn't done right, we can tell if something's not real, right? We can tell if some Hollywood director or writer did something and it's like, this person has no clue at all. You know, it's almost like when you watch a football or a baseball movie or a sports movie, and the stars in the movie, you could tell never threw a baseball before in their life. You know,
Right.
That's why Major League was so awesome, because Charlie Sheen was a college pitcher. You know, so it looked like he was throwing 100 miles an hour. It was cool as hell. So everything, and Kurt kind of said it, like everything in this movie was done the right way. It wasn't cheesy. It was like, it got you pumped. Like, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know, the music that was in it, it was awesome. It was a lot of classic metal. It was a lot of like, whatchamacallit, Blood and Thunder from
Mastodon.
Mastodon is in it. Like when that kicks in, it's like, oh, yes.
My favorite scene, Jay, sorry to cut you off, is when the kid's learning how to play drums.
Mhm.
And it goes through like a week or two time period, and he's getting better and better and better when he's playing Black Sabbath. That was a great touch.
Yeah, and again, if you've ever played an instrument, like we've all done that. We've played a song or songs. Usually, you might pick a song and you notice yourself progressing and getting better at it. Like, you know, every day you're like, wow, you know. And what the hell else was I going to say about it? There was like even the stuff that would be considered the cliche stuff in any type of movie that's like this. You know, Jeff T says it wasn't cheesy where you're like, oh God, look what they had to put that in there, or, you know, typical whatever. Like everything that they did that has that in there was done the right way. And it was almost like I don't want to say adoring, but just, you know, like hell yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's embracing.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Smitty Metal Wednesday, Best Wednesday, hell yeah.
Thank you, man.
But Brian, there's a cameo. Kirk Hammett, Tom Morello,
Hammock.
Rob Halford, and who's the other person?
D. Snyder, right?
No.
Who was it? Did I see it?
It was when he was in the hot tub with the
Yeah,
girl.
it was in a hot tub. The first one that pops up was crap, I can't remember the order. Because it's Halford, Hammett,
He's last.
Morello.
Yeah.
I think
there's one
Halford's
more.
first, right? And then Morello, and then Hammett. Who's the fourth one that gets in there?
Yeah, I can't remember. There was 4 of them, but it was cool. They I'm sure that was all shot separately, and they transposed them in. But yeah, it was great.
Yep.
Some cool guitars, Jackson Flying V and the Ibanez. He had a EVH Frankie hanging up and a couple different EVH amps. And how'd you like his rack that he had in between his cabinet and his head? It was like,
Yeah,
stacked there. It was pretty funny.
it was
Like
man.
only we would like laugh at that,
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll definitely check it out.
And even the song, even the song that they played, the original one that he's working on
At the
in the
end.
beginning, and stuff, and throughout. Like even that song was cool. Like when it plays, I don't want to give it away, but obviously the song that they're working on is going to be played at the end. You knew it. You knew it was going to happen. But it was like a
And
cool
the
song.
two kids at the Guitar Center fighting over the rat pedal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a bunch of little like things that if you're into it, you chuckle.
Yeah, and I think the cameo you're talking about, that's Scott Ian.
Scott,
Yes,
dude,
God.
what the hell?
Why did I
I just looked it up. I'm looking at him right now.
Why did I
By the
say
way-
Dee Snider?
I don't know.
By
I
the way,
can't believe we didn't get that, Jay.
He was a guest on another show. That guy, Becoming a Guitarist, is his channel, I guess. He had Scott Ian on the other day, and it was a pretty.
saw
good,
that.
It was a really good interview.
Yeah.
It was really
That's
good.
awesome. Scott Ian's the man too.
Oh, dude, he's a poster child.
Yeah, he's
sure.
he's one of those guys in a band. It's very rare for somebody who's not the singer, obviously, right?
Yep.
He doesn't write the majority. Charlie Benanti is the one who writes the majority of the riffs in that band.
Yep.
I think Scott Ian is a part of the vocals, though. I think, but usually for a guy, and he's the rhythm guitar player. He's not the lead guitar player,
Yep.
and he's literally the front man of that band.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one
Yeah.
that when you think of Anthrax, he's his face.
Scott Ian, absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, anyone who hasn't seen it, it's great. I mean, we don't get these kind of movies often.
Due to your Wi-Fi or just
I was talking about Van Halen, so it was cutting it out. It was going through your filter.
So real quick, I want to make sure I have a little quick PSA. All of us here are friends. We always bust each other's chops. We send messages to each other throughout the day, and it's just fun to be on here to bust each other's chops in front of everyone else here. So it's all in good fun. We all love each other, so it's cool. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. For,
I've just barely got to know Brian over the last 6-7 months, and he called me today, and I immediately picked up like I've known him for 20 years.
Yeah.
Same with Jay, even though I can't stand him, and I try to ignore his phone calls whenever he calls, but
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. God.
Jay, are you texting?
Brian's seeing the text message that I'm sending right now. Because
Yeah, I know who you're texting.
God, man.
But yeah, no, I think I know obviously we're a few minutes over, so thank you everyone for
Whoa. I have a homework assignment.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, there's an album that I'd like everybody to listen to. If you're a metal fan and a guitar fan, if you like any kind of that, shreddy guitar stuff. Now listen, I remember this name. You know how Spotify, if anybody uses Spotify, I'm sure any of the streaming platforms, if you listen to a band enough, it'll, bands that sound like, or bands, basically in the same category or whatever. So all of a sudden, a few weeks ago, does anybody remember the name Michael Romeo?
Oh God.
Right? Anybody?
no.
Well, he used to be in some of those like guitar videos of like, instructional videos and stuff back a long time ago. He used to do the same type of neoclassical type stuff as Yngwie, right? He's in a band called Symphony X, phenomenal player. But I was never really a huge fan of like the music. I knew he could play, obviously, from the instructional videos and all that stuff. So anyway, he came out with a solo album in 2018. And then he just came out with another one a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now. So I started listening to the first album that came out in 2018. It's awesome. It's called War of the Worlds Part 1. And it's kind of about, he's I guess, huge science fiction fan. So obviously there's elements of, the War of the Worlds and stuff like that. Have anybody seen that or read it or listened to it? But the songs are awesome. The playing is awesome. And he has two different singers on each, one different singer on each album. And I really like the guy that's on the first album, the 2018 album. I think his voice is awesome. It's great stuff. I know you're laughing, Brian.
No,
I heard some of this stuff. You'd actually be like, wow.
No.
I'm laughing at Danzig is metal.
Yeah. That's actually my favorite name in the chat is Glenn Danzig Eats Cum. Like that's every time I see it, I just laugh. But Jay, regards to the Michael Romeo stuff, I have listened to what you sent. And
that's right. That's right. You heard the song.
So I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Okay.
Brian does his homework 3 weeks in advance. He doesn't take this lightly.
Dude,
the separations in the preparation.
He's so funny. Like, obviously, he was the one who suggested doing a metal show, But like, I'll talk to him a couple times a week, and he'll be like, "Hey, did you see the notes app for the show coming up a couple weeks?" "Oh yeah, I saw the updated, but I haven't checked it yet." A few conversations later, "Hey, did you check the notes yet?" "Oh yeah, I gotta do that." Literally the day of the show, I'm looking at them and I'm doing like
Jay,
10 singers. I'm walking the dogs, picking up dog shit. Like, oh yeah, I got to put that guy on the list,
Is this any different than your homework style when you were in high school?
No. It's due tomorrow. I had 6 weeks to do it. It's due tomorrow. And I didn't even.
Yeah. Seems to be a pattern here.
I'm the biggest procrastinator, man. And you either love it or you hate it.
All good.
I'll check it out. War of the Worlds Part 1.
Part 2, I mean, I've listened to it. It's really good too. But I just feel like, you get a band, and it's like anything, right? Any kind of band, once you hear it like a different singer, it's almost human nature to pick a favorite, right?
Right.
And I feel like the guy he had on the first War of the Worlds record is really, really awesome.
So this is Romeo, Tybalt, Mercutio, right? Capulets, Montagues.
Is that the names?
Romeo.
Oh, I know Michael Romeo.
Yeah, Shakespeare.
Oh. Who's a hung daddy? Well, I think it's you, dude. Hung daddy.
Hung daddy. Who's got the biggest PP here? It's got to be Johnny.
Fear My 3-inch. Isn't that? I'm surprised that's not Gilmore. Fear My 3-inch.
We have to have him sign off if we can use it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me join today for Jay's birthday. It was fun.
Absolutely. It was great.
I wish we could like hang out. It sucks that Brian. Well, I guess it sucks that I moved down here. But Rick Castellano did the first record, and I think he completely crushed it. But anyway, yeah,
Oh, Barry McCockner stopped by. Just letting you know.
Huge fan.
Nice. I'll be doing that in about an hour. So let's wrap this up.
Takes you an hour to get it up, huh?
No comment.
Or pop 2. Oh man. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. It's a great great month, great Metal Wednesday. I think it was fun. And Kurt, thanks for thanks for
Being a
here, man.
dipshit.
Yeah, thanks for being
Thanks
here.
thanks for coming on, Kurt. It was fun. I knew it would be, and great show, guys. And next month we'll talk a little bit about maybe I'll tune in live from my Slipknot show with Brody and or Deftones and Gojira, and hopefully we'll have some new Slipknot news, maybe a new single. We'll see. And hopefully some cool metal stuff will go on. So thank you as always, Johnny. If you want to take it away.
Right on. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, channel members.
The channel member time.
Channel membership is awesome here on Johnny Beane TV.
It is.
Thank you so much, you guys. What else? I did Van Halen Twitch show earlier tonight. That'll be an upload here tomorrow. And then we'll be live Friday for the Van Halen show on Friday.
Yeah.
And
Brian will be tuning in for that.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about this week. Thank you again, Van Halen News Desk, for featuring last Friday's episode. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was a nice.
Big time.
That was a nice surprise.
Very,
Thank you very
very
much.
cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great
Yep.
rest of the week, and that's all I got for you. Stay safe.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Michael Romeo.
Thank you, Jeff T. Thanks, Jeff T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you all. And please leave a review on Google. Please.
And please
And
leave a
Grindr.
comment on this video.
And Grinder.
And farmers only.
And OnlyFans.
Mormon.org.
Did you say moremen.org?
Mormon soakers.